Tonight, what CBC News is learning about a big name expected to enter the race to replace Justin Trudeau, just as another top Liberal cabinet minister says she won't be running.
I decided to put my country first, and I decided to do my job.
Who's in and who's out as the race begins to take shape? The struggle to contain the fires raging in Los Angeles.
I've never been traumatized like this in my life.
And outrage after a Canadian bomber is struck by a drone while trying to fight the flames. A humanitarian catastrophe fueled by a brutal civil war and allegations that Canada isn't doing enough to help people get out.
How do you feel that your brother-in-law died while you were waiting?
Very sad and heartbreaking.
Is there a double standard?
It's very problematic and it's racist.
From CBC News, this is The National with Erica Johnson.
Thanks for joining us. Ian is away. One by one, contenders are stepping into the starting blocks for the race to replace Justin Trudeau as leader of the federal Liberal Party. A source tells CBC News that former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney is expected to throw his hat into the ring next week. But we learned today Mélanie Joly will not. And former BC Premier Christy Clark says she is seriously thinking of making a run. As the field of competitors begins to take shape, there is now more clarity surrounding the rules of the race. Ashley Burke begins our coverage tonight from Ottawa.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hi, ready?
On our way into a high-level meeting on Canada's looming crisis with the U.S., the Foreign Affairs Minister says she's bowing out of the race to replace Justin Trudeau.
I was really torn about this decision because, to be frank, I think that our chances were really, really high.
Mélanie Joly says she's ready to lead the Liberals, but not right now, focusing instead on Donald Trump and his tariff threat.
Canadians are anxious when they hear President Trump, President-elect Trump, saying and restating again his threats. So I decided to put my country first, and I decided to do my job.
She's the second member of Trudeau's cabinet to say they're out of the race for that reason.
I will be solely focused on the real economic threat.
With Dominic LeBlanc out, a source says former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney is picking up some of his support. CBC News has learned that after months of speculation, Carney is expected to launch his campaign next week, with more than 30 MPs backing him.
We don't have enough time, really, to build the party.
BC's former Premier Christy Clark told CBC's The House she's considering it too, but wants a longer campaign.
We're looking at the rules now before I make a final decision, but I think, we can make this work in the timeline that we've got.
The Liberal Party releasing a video setting the date and those rules. The entrance fee for candidates is $350,000, one of the highest in Canadian political history.
I would have preferred the party set it lower so that we would have a more inclusive race. For me, though, I don't see that as a huge barrier.
Registered Liberals voting will also now be limited to Canadian citizens or permanent residents, a change made to address concerns about foreign meddling in this process to choose the next Prime Minister.
Ashley, now that the rules are out, we are expecting to see more candidates announce their intentions.
Exactly. Already two relatively unknown candidates have said that they're running. Others who want the job have to declare it within the next 2 weeks. One high-profile member of the party who's considered by some Liberals as a top contender, former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, so far has yet to announce her intentions.
Ashley Burke in Ottawa. Thanks, Ashley. You saw in Ashley's piece that Christy Clark spoke to CBC Radio's The House today, her first interview since the PM announced his intention to resign. The show's host, Catherine Cullen, joins us now from Ottawa. So, Catherine, Clark's facing some controversy over whether she's really a Liberal. What can you tell us?
Well, Erica, Clark calls herself a lifelong Liberal, but she publicly said she was voting for former Quebec Premier Jean Charest in the last Conservative leadership. So I asked her, how long was she a member of the Conservative Party?
Never.
But you voted in the race, did you not?
No, I didn't. And I never got a membership, and I never got a ballot. What I did, though,
I will say, Christy Clark, we reached out to the Conservative Party, who told us, in fact, that your membership was canceled.
oh, well, why don't they come out and show my membership or my ballot?
The Conservatives did, in fact, send us a screen grab they say is from their membership database. It suggests she was a member for a year. She also told me she always remained a Liberal Party member. Her team says that, in fact, she was not a Liberal member when she endorsed Charest.
Okay, so where does all of this leave the race as a whole, Catherine?
Well, we're still waiting for a few big names to launch their campaign. That likely includes Clark, Mark Carney, Christy Freeland as well. The field, though, does seem like it's going to be much smaller than it did even 2 days ago. And that high entry fee that Ashley mentioned in her piece means it will be difficult for too many people to join this race. It's also going to be interesting to see where the policy discussion goes. Clark told me she'd scrap what she called the Trudeau carbon tax, and several Liberals seem to be suggesting that that's their preferred choice, too. Erica?
Thanks for that, Catherine. Catherine Cullen in Ottawa. Christy Clark appeared to elaborate tonight on the statement she made to Catherine in that interview for CBC Radio's The House. In a post on X, she says she misspoke and that she has learned a lesson. She went on to say, quote, "I have always been clear that I supported Jean Charest to stop Pierre Poilievre." After 3 days of destruction, firefighters in LA, coated in sweat and soot, are struggling to hold the line tonight as the most destructive fires in LA County history continue to burn. The ashen scars of the fires now cover roughly 14,000 hectares, more than 10,000 structures damaged or wiped out, 150,000 people under evacuation order, at least 11 dead so far. There are now at least 4 major fires still out of control around LA. The Palisades and Eaton fires responsible for the worst damage, the Hearst fire, and most recently, the Kenneth fire, which recently exploded in size overnight. Lindsay Duncombe joins us from Altadena, California, a community devastated by fire. Lindsay, what are you seeing there?
Well, I'm just at the edge of the evacuation zone here. You can see that the National Guard soldiers have been deployed, Erica. They're here to protect all of these empty houses from looting. After spending another day here, you really get the sense that people's nerves are frayed. The confidence in officials is fading and new fires are popping up.
Crews are overwhelmed. On top of those giant fires burning in the Palisades and Pasadena, new ones keep popping up. This afternoon, north of downtown,
is now multiple fires.
Last night near Calabasas.
If you weren't a homeowner, you shouldn't be anywhere out here.
There's so much anxiety.
You just knew that it didn't feel right.
Michael Ammons is checking on his house in Altadena. The other night, he saw a group of 7 men looking into the windows of deserted homes with flashlights.
And I was like, okay, these gentlemen are up to no good. This isn't cool. We're going to post here. We're not going to let anybody in.
Police have imposed a curfew in evacuated areas.
Anybody caught looting or committing crimes in the affected areas will be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
There is comfort in community. Overnight, people started dropping off clothes and food in a parking lot across from the Rose Bowl football stadium. Valerie Busby is picking up diapers for her 3-week-old nephew. Her sister's home was destroyed. 10 people are staying in Busby's 2-bedroom home.
It's devastating. It's devastating, but we're trying to support them as best as we can.
Yeah, it's all made worse by this.
All of our phones are going off some type of alert.
Several evacuation alerts went off in error across the city.
Did you get that alarm, that alert on your phone? Yeah. The mistake, or was it? Yeah. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, is it time for? I was scared that it was coming below the freeway.
By late morning, police dismantled the makeshift donation center because it blocked access to a staging area for firefighters.
How stressful is this, having to move everything that everyone brought
You
here?
don't even know, because we worked all morning to get organized because everything was everywhere.
So what happened at that makeshift donation center, Erica, is that everyone had to pick everything up, load up their vehicles, and drive it to a different location that was safer.
And Lindsay, the death toll from all of this is still coming into focus.
Yeah, it is expected to rise. In fact, today officials said that they would open a center for people who were concerned about missing loved ones to register.
Thank you, Lindsay. That's Lindsay Duncombe in Altadena, California. Beyond looting, there's another concern for law enforcement: drones in the fire zone. The U.S. FAA and FBI are investigating a drone collision yesterday that crippled a critical weapon in the fight against the LA fires, a Quebec water bomber.
Flying a drone in the fire traffic area is not only dangerous, but it's illegal.
The CL-415 Super Scooper, as it's called, was hit in the middle of a water drop. The plane landed safely, but the damage to the wing could have been disastrous, according to the pilot.
When you see the drone inside of the wing, that's exactly where are the fuel tank. So with the battery and everything.
The Quebec planes are the only water bombers LA County firefighters have that can safely handle salt water.
I was here when we first started the contract with them, and every year we make a big deal out of them coming in. They are absolutely vital to our operations here.
When Quebec announced it's sending 2 more, the relief was palpable.
Thank you very much. That is fantastic. We will not turn that away. That is extremely generous. On behalf of everybody here at the fire, thank you.
The hope is the damaged Super Scooper will be back in the air by Monday. The LA County fires have taken almost everything from thousands of people, and many did not have fire insurance. As Terry Reith explains, that's not an oversight. For insurance companies, coverage is too risky now.
Pacific Palisades, home to Hollywood A-listers and multi-million-dollar mansions, leveled. Malibu in ashes. But beyond the wealth lie neighborhoods like Altadena, where Lynn Levin Guzman is fighting to save her parents' long-time home.
They've lived in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire.
As climate-caused disasters surge in frequency and cost, insurance companies are pulling back on coverage. Last summer, California's largest insurer canceled or refused to renew 72,000 policies because of the wildfire risk.
We had to pay $65,000 to buy another insurance right away because I was afraid of fire.
I call upon all property insurance companies to pause these non-renewals and cancellations and provide essential stability for our communities.
A state program that offers a last resort option has become the only choice for many homeowners, but the coverage is limited, and now there are fears it won't be enough.
What we're seeing in California is approaching a crisis point for insurability for wildfire.
The Insurance Bureau of Canada says in this country, insurers will be taking climate risk into account.
Yes, it may have some impact on this scrutiny in places like British Columbia and Alberta.
It is already difficult and in some cases impossible to get overland flood insurance in some areas. Soon, it may become harder to insure against hail, windstorm, and wildfires. In California, where the losses continue to mount, the victims are increasingly on their own. Terry Reith, CBC News, Edmonton.
And there's no sign the surge in climate disasters is going to stop. The biggest climate monitoring organizations now say that 2024 was the hottest year on record, breaking the previous record set the year before. International climate correspondent Susan Ormiston is with me now. Susan, clearly this is the wrong trend.
Yeah, I mean, we're barely a week into 2025 and we're seeing the effects of year-over-year warming and more extreme weather patterns. 2024 wasn't even expected to top 2023, but it did, now officially confirmed. Here's what the last decade looked like, with average global temperatures rising. And for the first full year, 2024 topped the 1.5 degree target set at the Paris Climate Talks in 2015. That was meant not to be exceeding, and that is alarming.
Definitely. But at this point, it also sounds very familiar.
It does, and Gavin Schmidt of NASA told us that the pattern here is the point.
It's the same story every year or so, because the long-term trends are being driven by our emissions of fossil fuels, and they have not stopped. Until they stop, we're going to continue having this same conversation. And so do I sound like a broken record? Yes, I do, because we keep breaking records.
Indeed, and scientists tell us that every decimal point rise means more frequent and more severe consequences, like we saw in 2024, deadly heat, raging floods, and fires like this week. The last 10 years have been the warmest on record. 2025, well, it's not predicted to break the record, but likely it will be in the top 3 warmest years.
Okay, a warning to us all. Thanks for that, Susan.
Welcome.
The U.S. Supreme Court is set to decide the fate of TikTok days before a law to ban it takes effect in that country. Both sides presented arguments in the high-stakes case today. The U.S. government argued the platform is a national security risk, zeroing in on ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, and its ties to China. But ByteDance argued the move could lead to dangerous censorship. The ban is set to take effect January 19th. Donald Trump is officially a sentenced felon, a historic first for any U.S. president. Trump was handed an unconditional discharge today in his hush money case. He won't face a fine or jail time, or, as Katie Simpson shows us, any blowback from his supporters.
A small but dedicated group of Donald Trump supporters gathered outside court, frustrated this day finally arrived.
I do find it very emotional because I truly love and adore President Trump.
Oh, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Trump learned his fate watching by video from his Florida estate, a remarkable moment in American history. The president-elect sentenced for his role in a hush money scheme to keep his alleged affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels secret.
The only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land is an unconditional discharge.
The sentence is largely symbolic. It comes with no punishment, no jail time, no fines. Trump's re-election win was a factor in the judge's decision, acknowledging the office of the president comes with certain protections, though Trump is the first president convicted of a felony.
This has been a very terrible experience. I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
Trump's criminal record will not weaken his power in Washington.
He is truly in a unique position where it seems totally unlikely that this will actually have any negative effect on him.
Free Trump! And to Trump's loyal supporters, this only makes him more endearing.
The world is watching. They see what a sham this is, how fake all these charges are that are being brought upon him.
It doesn't really matter, okay, in terms of the American public, most of the American public, we don't care, okay?
This marks the end of Trump's major legal problems. All of the other criminal cases were wiped away. When he's back in the White House, he'll be more powerful than ever. Katie Simpson, CBC News, New York.
Some positive signs tonight for the country's economy. Statistics Canada has released the latest job numbers, and they are much better than expected. 91,000 jobs were created in December, more than triple what economists had predicted. The education, transportation, and finance sectors saw the biggest gains. Canada's unemployment rate dipped to 6.7% last month. That's down 1 point from the previous month. Doctors are concerned about the spread of a brutal virus that is already making dozens of Canadians sick.
I just started throwing up and I had to go to the toilet multiple times. It was really bad.
How to stay safe from norovirus.
The virus can survive in the environment, on walls, on carpet.
A verdict is expected in days in a horrific murder case many in India have been watching closely.
I'll be doing my internship in 3 years. How will I feel safe?
And a reporter jumps into action in the midst of the devastating LA fire.
And then as a human being, I said, we got to do something.
We're back in 2. Norovirus cases are on the rise with a big outbreak of at least 190 infections at an Ontario university. It can be a nasty bug that for some is quite dangerous. Jennifer Yoon has what you need to know to stay safe.
New classes, new friends, and a nasty bout of vomiting and diarrhea. It's been a miserable start to the semester at the University of Guelph, suspected to be part of a norovirus outbreak.
I just started throwing up and I had to go to the toilet multiple times. It was really bad.
Do they include samples from this week?
Now there's a furious race to contain the virus, which can spread like wildfire in the winter when people are in crowded settings.
We do have our staff and residents who are actively working on enhanced cleaning protocols. So what that means is additional cleaning of washrooms and common areas.
In Canada, cases are on the rise in several provinces, including BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and Nova Scotia. Across the United States, there's a surge, a record number of norovirus outbreaks across the country, 91 as of December. That's more than double the year before. Norovirus spreads through contaminated food and surfaces. A small amount of the virus can cause full-blown illness, and it's resilient.
The virus can survive in the environment, on walls, on carpet, things like that for long periods of time.
Once infected, most experience 24 to 48 hours of symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach cramps. And there's no real treatment. All you can do is try to stay hydrated. Daycares, cruise ships, and long-term care homes are also susceptible to outbreaks. And for the most vulnerable among us, it can be life-threatening.
For some of the extremes of the population, the very young or the very old, or people who are under therapy with different types of immunosuppression, it can be a more severe condition.
Alcohol-based hand sanitizers don't kill the virus. The best way to avoid the infection, washing your hands with soap and water. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Montreal.
Sudanese Canadians are calling on Ottawa to help their families flee from a war-torn country.
Get them here as quickly as possible.
The weight and the frustration as they struggle to bring their loved ones to safety.
I don't know why this is happening.
And some displaced by the LA fires are getting help from a familiar face.
10 minutes, her place was on fire and she was out and ends up at the door here.
The National breaks down the stories shaping our world next. In India, a verdict is expected next week in the trial of the rape and murder of a trainee doctor. Months after the horrific crime, safety concerns remain. South Asia correspondent Salima Shivji shows us the angry calls for change.
We deserve justice! She deserves justice!
The rallies are not as frequent, but the fury remains in Calcutta. 150 days after a trainee doctor was raped and murdered while at work. A brutal crime that horrified India. Many gathered here feel it's their duty to keep calling for justice.
Women, not only in India, but in whole world, we are not safe.
At the hospital where the 31-year-old doctor worked, a shrine in her memory. Posters and graffiti dot the sprawling grounds, denouncing the rape and what many see as a reluctance from authorities to investigate the crime fully. One man, a volunteer at the hospital, has been charged with rape and murder. His trial held behind closed doors with no media allowed in. A verdict is expected next week. But two others arrested for failing to protect the crime scene, a hospital administrator and a senior police officer, were released last month. That angered the victims' parents, who we can't identify. They're convinced more people were involved in their only child's murder.
Her mother and father is on, severe pain.
And relying on their daughter's colleagues, this fellow trainee doctor says, to push for a stiff sentence if the accused is found guilty.
Everyone should get fear after this, showing the punishment. That's the one part. And second part
is... A harsher sentence will make people think twice before they do
not
this
twice, 1,000 times they should think.
And when the protest was...
For others here, the past 5 months have been marred by fears over safety.
Then how can a murder happen inside the hospital on
on duty. How can we feel safe when we do duty? I'll be doing my internship in 3 years. How will I feel safe?
She says many dorms at the teaching hospital still have little to no security, with change painfully slow to arrive. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Mumbai.
Now it's time to dig deeper into the stories shaping our world. As ferocious wildfires sweep across Los Angeles, devastation abounds. But amidst the smoke and ash, kindness and community, as a Canadian star opens his home to some fleeing the fires. But first,
my job is to take what you're saying and tell the world to support you.
As war rages in Sudan, Sudanese Canadians living here are disheartened, they say, by lengthy delays and an unequal refugee process.
There's clear racial bias against African refugees.
David Common explains why some say there's a double standard in Canada's immigration policy as families seek to reunite with those from war-torn Sudan.
It is a war being waged on the Sudanese people.
A country under siege.
The biggest humanitarian crisis in the world.
This is the worst catastrophe in modern history.
An offer of help from Canada.
We have to do something as a country. Canadians wouldn't forgive us if we didn't do it.
But delays leading to disappointment.
My patience is thinning, it's really thinning.
And far worse.
How do you feel that your brother-in-law died while you were waiting?
Very sad and heartbreaking.
It's very problematic and it's racist.
I don't know why this is happening.
Ismail Adam is constantly scanning for updates about the war in Sudan from his home in Mississauga. After all, his family has been trapped in the middle of it from the outset.
They might die with a bullet, or they might die of diseases, or they might die of famine.
Who do you want to bring to Canada?
I wanted to bring to Canada my parents and my brother and my sister.
They were living in the family home in the capital of Khartoum in April 2023 when vicious fighting broke out between the forces of rival generals.
They were forced to leave because it's not safe. Khartoum now it is a deserted city.
In the 20 months since then, the situation has become almost incomprehensibly dire. Tens of thousands have been killed, another 12 million displaced, many into bare-bones camps in neighboring countries where there are few jobs or schools. Food and medical care scarce, starvation and sexual assault rampant.
The humanitarian crisis in Sudan grows daily, with many dying from malnutrition and diseases.
Last February, the Canadian government launched the Pathways program to reunite those fleeing war with their relatives in Canada. The number of applicants was capped at 3,250. Ismail applied on the first day.
It's not going anywhere since February, up to this day. For me, I have not received anything.
He says he can easily afford the financial requirements laid out by the government. But nearly a year later, he's heard nothing.
My patience is thinning. It's really thinning.
I wonder how you feel being told basically to be patient while the immigration process works its way through, while your family is in danger of dying.
It really hurts. While I'm saying to Canada, thank you very much for putting the program together, but if this is humanitarian and compassionate basis, then do what you did for others, for other nations. Get them here as quickly as possible.
This is a wonderful night. We get to show a plane load of new Canadians what Canada's all about.
So what has Canada done in recent years when it comes to accepting refugees from countries in crisis? Well, nearly 300,000 Ukrainians came to Canada after their country was invaded. More than 100,000 refugees escaping the civil war in Syria were accepted too, including 25,000 in the first 100 days. Another 40,000 refugees fleeing the Taliban in Afghanistan were welcomed. But the total number of refugees accepted from Sudan since the war broke out in 2023 is a comparatively minuscule 2,890. and only 340 have been accepted through the Family Pathway program launched nearly a year ago.
One of the questions we're always asked is, why is it so forgotten? It's very problematic and it's racist.
Khalid Madani is a professor and chair of the African Studies program at McGill University.
And we should talk about Canada's role, at least for the moment, and that
he believes the delays in bringing family members of Sudanese Canadians to Canada reveals a troubling double standard within Canada's immigration policy when it comes to African refugees.
At the end of the day, it's a humanitarian crisis.
This is not an ask that is requesting that Sudanese come en masse to Canada. We have to be clear about the minuscule amount of Sudanese immigrants and refugees who benefited from this program, and people are dying. There's clear racial bias against African refugees.
We asked Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada for a response to that accusation. In a statement, they said IRCC is committed to a fair and non-discriminatory application of immigration procedures, adding, "We are looking closely at Canada's immigration system to help ensure our programs and policies are fair, equitable, and culturally sensitive." Nagwa El Mamoun is an immigration consultant in Oakville, Ontario.
We have to perfect the application.
She's hosted Zoom meetings for more than 900 people at a time, teaching Sudanese Canadians how to apply to bring their family members from Sudan.
I thank Canada for this initiative, but unfortunately, we expected more.
You speak to many people in the Sudanese Canadian community.
Yes.
What do they think about this program?
They say it's not, most of them, they say it's not fair. What is the difference between the Syrians and the Sudanese? Just in 2 months, all the Syrians came. They can do the same process here. Just evacuate these people immediately. People are dying.
What are you scared might happen while you are waiting?
They might be die there, or they may be kidnapped, or maybe raped, or anything can happen.
She has reason to be afraid. We're calling her Sarah. We've agreed to hide her identity and alter her voice because she fears for the safety of her family in Sudan.
You had a brother-in-law who you had applied to bring to Canada. Tell me what's happened with him.
He was in detention for a year, and then we find out he get killed there. He died.
How do you feel that your brother-in-law died while you were waiting?
Very sad and heartbreaking.
You know, when you hear these stories, it breaks me, it shatters me, because I feel helpless. We have applicants that died because lack of medication, died because they were killed. They were being detained by the militias and killed in their jails. I don't know why this is happening.
Hello?
Staying in touch with family in Sudan can be hard. Connectivity is a constant challenge. And Sarah's lucky. She gets to talk directly with her 2 sisters there, who she's applied to bring here.
And what do they ask you when you talk to them?
They ask me, when are you going to bring us here? When they're going to... We're afraid here, we're scared. We just want to be out of here.
What's it like to say, I'm sorry, there's no news yet?
I tell them, I'm sorry, but you have to wait and be safe. Just try to be safe. Until one day we'll be here together.
That's what Ismail hopes for too. That one day he'll be reunited with his family. But he's losing faith that day will ever come.
What is the risk that someone in your family dies of disease or gets killed before the opportunity comes to get to this country?
It's highly likely. It's highly likely. They don't have a chance.
As David Common shows, hope is fading for so many waiting for a chance to be accepted into Canada. And while many refugees struggle to get in, refugees from 2 other countries are all but guaranteed acceptance. Tara Carmen looks into why.
The number of refugee claimants Canada accepted more than doubled since 2018.
Over that period, most accepted claims came from Iran, Turkey, India, Mexico, and Colombia. But CBC News has learned applicants from 2 of those countries are far more successful at claiming asylum than others, 98% from Iran and 97% from Turkey. So what accounts for their near total acceptance? The answer is complicated.
They don't get scrutinized as much, and so obviously the rates will remain high. I have reported.
Vancouver refugee and immigration lawyer Mojda Shariari says Iranians have historically high rates of acceptance because they're often fleeing their own government.
In Iran, under the Islamic Republic regime, is horrific. The state is the agent of persecution.
The same holds true for Turkey. Despite being a member of NATO and a Canadian ally, its government has become increasingly autocratic and religiously conservative. But multiple immigration lawyers told us there's another reason: a massive backlog of claims at the Immigration and Refugee Board. So big, the IRB decided to approve more claimants based on their paper applications alone. In other words, rubber stamping many approvals without a hearing.
They started doing this several years ago, but they only designated a limited number of countries for this streamlined refugee process.
Why Iran and Turkey? The IRB says the paper review system applies to countries with historically high acceptance rates, which, given their repressive governments, both countries do, and when applicants themselves have no serious credibility issues. But Shariari, who used to work and make decisions at the IRB, says this approach is risky.
If there is no hearing, there is no scrutiny of the person's credibility, the door for abuse is always open. The refugee protection system in Canada has been and is increasingly being abused.
She says the majority of refugee claims from Iran are legitimate, but not all.
They're just trying to find a way to stay here for, let's say, for a better life. And every human being is entitled to that. But, this is not the way to do it.
Meanwhile, refugees from countries with historically lower acceptance rates are always sent to a hearing and rejected much more often.
From our experience, a refugee claimant from Iran or Turkey with similar documentation is more likely to be accepted.
The unintended consequence of fast-tracking applicants? An imbalance that will continue to grow as more refugees inevitably head to Canada.
Tara's story is part of our Welcome to Canada series that continues through January and beyond. For the full story of our unique national survey of 1,500 newcomers and more, go to cbcnews.ca/Welcome to Canada. Next, the destructive fires surrounding LA and why it's taking many aback.
You don't think it's going to be that bad, and then it just exploded.
How George Stroumboulopoulos is coping and helping amid the fires. Next. The deadly fires in California have been called unprecedented. The Palisades and Eaton fires already rank as the most destructive in LA history. At least 10,000 structures destroyed, 100,000 forced to flee their homes. Shocking numbers, especially for those living through it. Former CBCer George Stroumboulopoulos splits his time between Toronto and Los Angeles and is in LA right now. George, to start off, what is the situation like right now where you are? I understand your home is okay.
Yeah, my home's okay. My neighborhood's okay. I live in a part of Hollywood here that was put on the be prepared to be evacuated list because of fire that was happening just about 9 minutes away up in Runyon. There are still parts of the city that are burning in the most catastrophic ways. It's, as you know, the largest fire in the history of Los Angeles. And we had 4 major fires going at the exact same time. And so right now where I am, it's okay. Really, we're kind of all at the whim of the winds here. When the winds start picking up, that's when it gets really volatile and all bets are off. But right now the winds seem to have died down in this part of the city, so we're pretty good. And I think Monday is when they expect them to pick up a little bit again, but not like it was a couple of days ago.
But people around you have been much more profoundly affected. You had some people actually staying with you after their homes were destroyed. What were you hearing from them?
We had a bunch of people here. Also, cats and dogs showed up, so it became one of those last minute. Everybody's getting DMs saying, "My friend needs to pick up here. This needs to pick up there." What we're doing at my house here is by no means unique. It's happening all over the city. You know, in Canada, when this kind of stuff happens in the past with the ice storms or the fires, people do it. What I'm hearing is just how quick it was. My friend of mine was at home, went to take a shower, got out of the shower to the knocking of their door from their neighbor saying, "Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go." In that 10 minutes, her place was on fire and she was out and ends up at the door here. That's been happening to a lot of people. That's really the thing, right, EJ? It's the speed at which this happens. If an ember blows and it catches some dry fuel, we've had no rain here, really. Last January, there was a lot of rain, but there hasn't been much rain here. So when a spark hits, wow, it could go up quickly. And the one that happened in Runyon, saw it happen. You can go, oh, there's a little flame there, there's a flame. Oh, okay. And now in 5-6 minutes, people are being evacuated. But then there's the other component, which is people want to get out of their area and then they don't know what's going to come next. So there's a lot of instability, a lot of anxiety that people fear. And there's just a lot of that.
It sounds like it can just, things can change on a dime. You can see smoke from your home. Can you also smell it? I understand it actually woke you up the other night.
Yeah, it really woke me up. I thought I needed to take care of myself better because I had these chest pains, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized, oh, it's the smoke in the air. You can see it yesterday morning when I walked out of the house. It was kind of like light snow flurries of ashes that were still falling on us and falling on the cars and falling on the streets. So I certainly felt more of it yesterday. Today, you can still see the haze of smoke around because one big fire was obviously Palisades and the Malibu area, and then Topanga, and then the other one was over here, the Eaton fire, which is more of a Glendale, Burbank, and Altadena fire. And so that area kind of envelops us. So there was smoke all over the place. What's interesting is that this happened so much that I just knew there were fires and winds, and it's like, okay, you feel for people and you don't think it's going to be that bad, and then it just exploded. It was uncontained for so long, still is. So smoke is still in the air. Driving to work today, I can just see big, gigantic swaths of smoke that are around. It's a little better today, like I said. If the winds hadn't died down, I think LA would be in much bigger trouble than it already is, and it's in a pretty significant. I mean, I know so many people who've lost everything but the clothes they were wearing as they ran out of the house.
And how is the community responding?
Epically, the way they always do here. Everybody coming together, sharing stuff on social media, connecting you to people in need, places that need things, whether it's human beings, cats, dogs, livestock, all kinds of parts of this region have been affected. So everybody's coming together and doing their part as best they can.
You included. Thanks for making time for us tonight. Stay safe.
Always good. Good to see you, Jay. Thank you.
George Stroumboulopoulos is in Los Angeles. Coming up, in the face of catastrophe, a reporter lends a helping hand.
And as a human being, I said, we got to do something.
Setting down the camera to help in our moment. In the midst of all the devastation and destruction, this interview between local CBS News reporter Jasmine Veal and a California homeowner was a small glimpse of compassion and maybe a ray of hope. Jasmine put down the mic, her videographer put down his camera, and the pair rushed toward the flames to save the woman's helpless animals. And that small act of kindness is our moment.
Early Wednesday morning, my photographer, John Schreiber, picked me up. We started driving down Altadena Drive, homes reduced to ash and rubble. And we turned around and this woman collapsed to the sidewalk in tears, just screaming. And as a reporter, of course, I just want to know what's happening, what's going on. And as I go over to her, she says her chickens, her beloved chickens and her ducks are in the back. And then as a human being, I said, we got to do something. Trees and embers were flying. Trees were catching fire next to her house. The chicken coop had begun to catch fire. John, my photographer, opened the door. He just started grabbing the chickens and wheeled them out to her on the street. And she loaded them up in her SUV. I think it was her husband who was standing next to her. He was in tears. We all just want to help each other, and that's all we can do.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe, okay? That moment, it's like if we could give her something, some sort of peace, I mean, I would have done anything.
What a moment. And Jasmine also says they helped an elderly woman who had 2 dogs get to safety, and they brought her to her daughter's home. And then while she was covering the fire, she got a phone call from her mother-in-law saying another firestorm had actually shifted and was headed towards Jasmine's home. So she had to get home and make sure her kids got out safely. All in a day's work. Crazy, crazy times. Thank you for being with us. You can watch us anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app or subscribe to the National's YouTube channel. I'm Erica Johnson. Take care.